everyone, welcome to Knowledge Center. In most of the competitive exams, one important question will be almost asked, that is calendar. You can consider the railway department, RRB, SSC, bank exam, any exams, they definitely are going to have one question regarding this. Today I am going to take up the topic, that is calendar. So let's start with the simple concept, and in this video I am going to give you the introduction about the calendar, which will give you the complete information about the basic formulas which are used to solve the problems regarding the calendar. So don't forget to watch the video completely, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel to get the new video notifications. Let's begin with the introduction of the calendar. So when we talk about calendar, we used to get one important thing in our mind, that is about leap year. So let's start with that. We will be having an option of two conditions here, that is, one is ordinary year, and we will have an option called a leap year. So first thing is, what is leap year and what is the ordinary year? What is the difference among these two? Let's understand that. In ordinary year, in a year you are going to have 365 days in an ordinary year, whereas in a leap year we will have 366 days. And in the leap year, in the month of February, we are going to have 29 days, whereas in ordinary year, in the month of February, it will be of 28 days. So that one day is added into the years. Okay. So this is about the difference. Now let's see how to identify the leap years. So for that I will just give one simple logic here. Say for example, if I consider the year 2019, say that is roughly I am writing it. If it is 2019, now let's identify whether it is a leap year or an ordinary year. So to identify that, one simple thing will apply. The logic is, divide this last two digits. I will divide it by 4. If these two digits are divisible by 4, then we call it as a leap year. If not, it is an ordinary year. So here 4, 19 by 4. 19 is not divisible by 4, so it is an ordinary year. It comes here. It is an ordinary year. If I consider 2020, then if I divide this last two digits by 4, 4 5s are 20. It is divisible. So this is considered as a leap year. So the first logic what I am giving here is, consider the last two digits of the year and divide it by 4. If it is divisible, then it considered as a leap year. If not, we will consider it as an ordinary year. That is the first point. The next one more important thing what you need to concentrate here is about odd days. Say in this ordinary year, as I already told, it is 365 days we are going to get. So these 365 days has to be divided by 7. So if you divide it by 7, why I am dividing it by 7? Because for 1 week we are going to get 7 days, and I will divide it by 7. If I divide it by 7, we get it as 7 5s are 35, 1 will be carried here, 7 2s are 14. So if we divide it by 7, we will get 52, 364. So 1 day remains as odd. So I will take it as 52 weeks. You can write this as we get 52 weeks plus 1 day, which is out of the week. So the day which is coming beyond the 1 week, which is more than the 7 days, or which is extra, that is called a odd day. So here 1 is an odd day. I mean, in short, I am writing it as OD. So in a year we will get 52 weeks and 1 extra day. So in ordinary year, whenever we consider an ordinary year, we will get 1 odd day in an ordinary year. This is one important thing you need to concentrate on. So for that, what I did, I divided by 7, and whatever the extra day we had, that is called as an odd day. So in ordinary year we will have 1 odd day. Similarly, if you consider the leap year, 366 by 7 means we get 52 weeks plus 2 odd days. It is 364 plus 2. So here we will get 2 odd days. 2 odd days will be available in a leap year. So that is about some comparisons regarding the leap year as well as the ordinary year. remember it is one odd day, here we will get two odd days. And let me give some examples wherein you can try to identify whether it is a leap year or not. Say 1936. By just looking into this, what you can do, divide these two digits by 4. 4 9s are 36. Yes, it is divisible. So this is, you can consider it as leap year. That's it. If it is of 1927, so if these two are not divisible by 4, so this is an ordinary year. So this is how, by just looking into the number of last two digits of the year, you can identify whether it is leap year or ordinary year. So last two digits has to be divisible by 4. So this is about the leap years. Now let us put some condition here. If I consider the century years in the sense the years in which the last two digits are 0. Example I will take here. Let me consider some examples here. Say if I consider 1000, 1000 years. Here last two digits are 0. So this cannot be divisible by 4. So if you are having any century years, it may be 100, 200, 300, 400, 600, 1200, 1400, 2000, 2000, 3000, like that, 2100. So century year in the sense last two digits has to be 0. If this occurs in a year, then the way of identifying the leap year is different. It is not like this. I'll just tell you what you need to do if the last two digits are 0. If last two digits are 0, or if it is a century year, then what we need to do is this complete year has to be divisible by 400. You have to divide it by 400, not by 4. So I hope it is clear for you. If it is a century, or if it is ending with last two digits as 0, then you have to divide it by 400. If it is divisible, then you consider it as a leap year. If not, it's not a leap year. For example, say this 1000 year. So 400. So this cannot be divided by 4. So this is an ordinary year. If I consider 1200, this is a century. Divided by 400. So yes, 00, 4 3s are 12. Yes, this is a leap year. Right. So if last two digits are 0, then divide it by 400. And we get last two digits 0, we get it in centuries only. So if the year is, say it's a century year, then divide it by 400. If it is divisible, then it is considered as a leap year. If not, it's not a leap year. Right. So I hope you got a very clear idea about identifying the leap year, if it is a century or if it is just a number. This is about the leap year. Okay. Now let's consider one more important thing in this calendar, that is odd days. So let's have a discussion. Let's have some idea about the odd days. So in these odd days, if you consider, you need to understand that how many odd days we will be having in particular year. So and also how to identify those odd days. So if you understand this, let me give you the complete information about the odd days. Here I am not going to solve the problems, but I will give you the logic, that is traditional method of getting the answers. So this, if you understand this concept, we can apply this and you can solve this so many problems here. So let me take the odd days. So when you consider an odd days, as I already told, an extra day beyond the week. Okay. For example, if I say 10, there are 10 days. So how many odd days we can find here? This 10 days means first you need to divide it by 7. Divide it by 7. So 10 by 7. 7 ones are 7. So 7 days we got. So this is 1 week plus 3 days. So whatever the extra days we got beyond this week, these are considered as odd days. So if it is a 10 days, there I can say we have 3 odd days. Okay. 3 is a odd day. OD, O for odd, day for day. 3 odd days we have in 10 days. Same way if I consider 21 days. So what you need to do for finding an odd day? You just divide it by 7. 7 3s are 21. So we get 3 weeks and 0 odd days. 0 odd days. So this is how you need to identify the odd days if it is given in terms of less than century. For example, if I say if it is 51 days, just divide it by 7. So 7 7s are 49. So we get 7 weeks. plus remaining 7 7 is 49. 2 days extra remains. So that is 2 is an odd days. 2 is an odd days. So in 51 days, if I consider, we get 7 weeks plus 2 odd days, right? So now one more important thing you need to understand, that is the standard logic given 0 to 6. If I consider 0, we will consider 0 as Sunday. In a week we will have 7 days and we give number from 0 to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it will be starting in this order: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for 5, and last we get 6 as Saturday. So it means if I have mentioned here 51 days, in this 51 day we have 2 odd days. Means the last day of that 51th will be a 2 odd days, and that is we can identify which day it is. Last day was 2 odd days, means 2 is nothing but Tuesday. So the last day in that 51 days will be Tuesday. Okay, so we will understand this when we solve the problem, sir. But you remember this number 0 to 6. This is how we are giving a name over there. 0 is for Sunday, 6 for Saturday. In a sequence you have to remember. This is most important. This is most important. Okay, right. So here this is very simple to identify the odd days in a given number of days. But these days are less than 100. So what if it is 100? Means if I say what if it is given in terms of years? This is just a number in days. Number of days are given. So what I did, we had just divided by 7 and we got the remaining days as the odd days. But if it is given in terms of a century or a year, let's see how to identify it. So if I consider first 20 years, means say 0000 to 0020. So first 20 years. First 20 years. In that first 20 years, how many odd days we are going to get? You need to identify that. So to do that, what we can do is, you need to first understand what is that, how many years we are getting. 20 years we are getting. So in this 20 years, first you need to separate the leap years and the ordinary years. So how to do that? So leap years, as we know, if it is divisible by 4, then we call it as a leap year. So 0 to 20 years, how many leap years we can get? 4, 8, 12, 16 and 20. All these numbers can be divisible by 4. So we get 5 leap years. Out of this we get 5 leap years. Isn't it? So you need to get the number of leap years and ordinary years separately. So if we are getting 5 leap years among these 20 years, then the remaining 15 years will be ordinary years. Alright, plus 15 ordinary years. So this is how you should separate it. And then in a leap year, we need to find odd days here. So in a leap year, how many odd days? Each leap year will have 2 odd days. That was already I had told in the beginning of this session. So we can say 5 leap year into 1 leap year will have 2 odd days into 2 odd days plus 15 ordinary year into 1 ordinary year will have only 1 odd day. So 1 odd day. So 5 into 10 it is 5 into 2 is 10 plus 15. Totally 25 odd days we got. But you should not write it as just 25 odd days, because we know that odd days is nothing but the day which is beyond a week. So 25 days means in this we can get number of weeks. So what I do, 25 will be divided by 7. So first try to get it in terms of weeks plus odd days. So what do you get now? 7 3s are 21. That is the nearest number. So we get 3 weeks plus 4 remaining days. 7 3s are 21 and 4 is the extra days. So those extra days are considered as an odd days. So for this question, the answer is 4 odd days. 4 odd days. So you should not stop your calculation up to this. It's not 25 odd days. 25 odd days can further be simplified and we can get it as 4 odd days. So this is our answer. Yeah. So 4 odd days means we can say this. If it is a century year, so let's see how to find the odd days. For 20 years I have shown you the example. There we got 4 odd days. If it is a century year, say if it is 1 to 100 years. So in this 100 years, how to identify the number of leap years? So one simple logic I will tell you. Means you can't keep on counting it like 4, 8, 12 up to 100 years. You can't keep on counting it. That will be a hectic time work. So instead of doing that, one thing you can do, that is last year, that is 100. That 100 can be, one important thing I'll tell you, 100 years means totally we have 100 years, but 100 is not a leap year, because as I already told you, 100 is 100 divided by 400 you need to do. Whenever we have a century, it has to be divided by 400. So this is not a leap year. This is not divisible. So 100 is just an ordinary year. So leave that 100. If it was a leap year, you could have included that. But if it is not a leap year, now leave that. So you can say 0 to 99. Identify the leap years between 0 to 99. So how to identify 0 to 99? 99 again, it's not divisible by 4. So what I do here is, I'll consider some number which is divisible by 4, like 80. 80 is divisible by 4. So 80 by 4 will give you 20. So 20 leap years we get it here. Right. From 80 to 99, how many leap years we can get? 80, after 80 plus 4 we get 84, 88, 92, 96. Right. So plus 4 years. So from 0 to 99 we get totally 24 leap years. 24 leap years only. And 100 is not a leap year, so I am not considering it. So 24 leap years are written here. Remaining are the ordinary years, that is 76 ordinary years in a century. So 24 into 2, because each leap year will have 2 days, and 76 into 1. So if I do this, what do you get here? Let me continue it here. This has already written a board, so I will simplify it here. So 24 into 2 is a 48 plus 76. 48 plus 76 is 124. So 124 odd days by 7. So when we divide it by 7, 124 by 7, so what we get? 7 ones are 7. So we get 1 here. So remaining 5. So 7 sevens are 49. So 49 and remaining are 54 minus 49 is 5. So 17 weeks plus 5 days. And these 5 are the odd days. So for a century year, we get 5 odd days. It means that's what I written. For first 100 years, we get 5 odd days. So this is what the point you have to remember. When we solve the problems, we should recall these things. We should use this and we can get the answers easily. Right? So for similarly, if I do it for 200 years, for first 200 years, 5 odd days for first 100 years. So you just double it into 2. We get 10 odd days. But 10 is more than week. So 10 by 7, we get 1 week plus 3 odd days. So I can say for 200 years, we have 3 odd days. Similarly for 300 years, we get 5 into 3, 15 odd days. So that can be written as 2 weeks plus 1 odd day. 7 to the 14 plus 1 remaining day. So 1 odd day. So for 100 years, we'll get 5 odd days. For 200 years, we get 3 odd days. For 300 years, we get 1 odd day. Similarly for 400 years. For 400 years, 5 into 4 is 20. Plus 1 I am doing. See, this is the change you need to understand here. Because this is leap year. This 400 can be divided by 400. So I will add 1. So 21 days. 21 by 7 we get 3 weeks plus 0 odd day. 7 3s are 21 and we won't get any odd days there. It is 0 odd days. So it means that this table is most important, and first century we get 5 odd days. 200 years we get 3 odd days. 300 years we get 1 odd day. 400 years we get 0 odd day. You can remember it, you can memorize it, or you can say 100 means 5 minus 2, then it is 0. Okay. So based on this, we can easily identify the day in whichever the year it is. For example, say you can consider like if it is of 700 years, means if it is of 700 years, find the number of odd days in 700 years. If that is the question, what you can do, no need of calculating it like this. Just simplify it. 400 plus 300. So I know in 400 we have 0 odd days, and in 300 I know it is 1 odd day. So 0 plus 1 we get 1 odd day. In a 700 years we will have only 1 odd day. So by just remembering these basic numbers, you can find any number of odd days in any year. Okay. So 1 odd day means the last day of that 700 year will be 1. 1 is nothing but Monday. So what is that day? Even that can be easily identified. So this table and this chart is most important. So remember this. This can be used further to solve the problems. So in next video, I will take up more problems. Then you can understand it easily. If this video is clear, like this video, share among your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.